Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with the SCS mod. And let us continue the exploration of this northeastern district of Baldur's Gate. Here is a little shrine to Ilmater. There's no one really here now, but it's slightly relevant later. We can give this guy a coin. And we can visit this building and actually take the gold from this barrel. There are some goodies upstairs, and it's also notable that look at how many interactable things there are on this floor, but we're mostly interested in this one here. Yet another Cloak of Protection +1. Like, Baldur's Gate City is really a city of these Cloaks of Protection +1, and it's not even the last one. Yeah, some minor treasures. Alright. That's basically what I wanted. And now we can progress further south here. There's going to be a quest for us to pick up. Here's Belde'ar, and she's only here during the day, so it's actually a pretty easy quest to miss. If you only come here once at night, for example, to do Narlen's burglary quest, where you're supposed to meet him. That's his first quest, when you're supposed to meet him further down south here, near an inn called the Splurging Sturgeon. And you know, you might not even know that this quest exists. By the way, this quest is always available to pick up from her here. But if you have Coran in your party, there's an additional dialogue, and this is not from the NPC Project, by the way. This is from the unmodded game, this conversation. It turns out that Coran has a daughter. That's wonderful. You can see that he's really ecstatic after having learned that he's a father. Yeah, surprised that your fling had its consequences. My husband was none too pleased when my daughter turned out to be a half-elf. So yeah, her husband is Iago, the mage that we've already seen in the Low Lantern in some of the previous episodes. And apparently he cursed their daughter out of anger in his fury, and now we're supposed to get his spellbook so that Belde'ar can undo the curse. And their daughter is called Namara, and that's kind of a notable name because there's a longsword in Baldur's Gate 2 that has the same name, with the exception that it's spelled with a double R. Yeah, Namara, a curse. And yeah, that's our mission. Find his spellbook and bring it to me. So you have to support Coran in this task here, because if you don't, he's actually going to leave party and try to do it on his own, I suppose. But we're, of course, going to help him. Yes? And she's going to stay in the Splurging Sturgeon. Now she's going to be available there. And there's a scroll here. Something to sell later. Alright, let's head on in.
Indeed. Hello there.
So here is a person that apparently recognizes us from a dream she had. And this dream is also something to keep in mind for later when we get some answers as to our origin. But apparently in that dream we were a god made of iron, and we like crumbled and shattered like because of a raging storm. And that's especially if you've seen the ending to this game, especially from the classic Baldur's Gate, not so much from the enhanced edition maybe. You will see some references to there. Like, there is something to this dream that she had. So another kind of ominous line.
My poor dear Namara. I hope she fares well.
Poor Namara. Anyway, here's Luslin. And it seems like he's just a regular drunk, but if you talk to him 3 times... You ain't no Tasloy, you're my wife. Har har har. Anyway, here we can wager 100 gold that we're going to be able to kill the mustard jelly that's upstairs. So yeah, let's go with it. We lost 100 gold for that bet.
Yes? Yeah?
Yeah? Anyway, there's a couple of containers to unlock here. There are some minor treasures in them, although this one has a notable sling. The same one that I said that was completely not worth it. That was also sold by Black Lily in the Thieves Guild, I think. Or was it Silence from the Shop of Silence? Not sure anymore. I just want her to go somewhere else so I can loot that container without having any guards approaching me. Just like that. Some of these are empty, but some of them have some minor treasures. Whoops, not this thing. Okay, she can't identify it yet. Doesn't matter. Now we're going to take some guys here and approach this mustard jelly over here. Just preferably without getting stuck in doorways. Right now, a mustard jelly shouldn't be too big of a deal for us. Oh well, Yeslik is blocking the way. And yeah, it's done. And Yeslik actually leveled up as a result. Alright, now there's a very notable character to have a conversation with in this room.
Indeed.
And I'm going to save because he is going to, at the end of this conversation, he's going to actually take our golden pantaloons. That's basically his role here. And the conversation ends differently whether you have the pantaloons in your inventory and if you don't. So let's just talk to him. This is a really cool, kind of funny conversation.
Hi, friend.
Do you have them? So we can kind of play along. Of course. Do you have to trade? Aye, that and more. Best we say no more lest the night be blown. Agreed. One can never be too careful. Why would you say that? You know the drill. So it's agreed then? Sure. Alright then. You have no idea what we're talking about, do you? And then you can keep playing along, I guess. Of course I do. It's business as usual. 2 actions then? As well we should. The place is ready. As ready as it could be. Why would you say that? And it's again, and why wouldn't I? I thought as much. To business then. Agreed. What say you to this? And I would know this. What of your job? It goes as planned. So it's agreed then. Anyway, so it kind of loops like that. Or until you admit that, you know, you were just playing along. So you bluffed your way through the entire conversation without a clue what was going on. Yep. So yeah, he was to meet the owner of the pantaloons. That would be you, but it is not you. You are the wrong one, because your pantaloons are obviously stolen. A foolproof plan of recognition ruined, because you were daft enough to keep the pantaloons. I'll take those and no reward for you. And I'll teach you to abscond with a man's hard-earned trousers. So he just takes the pantaloons and runs off. So we can quick load. And if we just leave the pantaloons on the ground, we can do this conversation again and do it quickly. And when you ask what was the point of all this, he says that he forgot, I guess, and just leaves. Anyway, now we have done everything there was to do here, except collect our wager, our 1 bet. But apparently he already managed to, like, spend some of the money on booze, I guess. And this is the NPC Project comment.
Yes?
But we still get 160 back, so we earned 60 gold. And this is it when it comes to this district. So now let us explore this central western one.
Indeed.
Alright, here the main attraction is, of course, the Hall of Wonders. And it's actually pretty cool that we're here during the day, because there's kind of like a tour of the inventions that they have on display when it's during the day, and we're going to also be back here when it's nighttime. Anyway, let's actually level up Yeslik and let's see what he's got to offer here. Yeah, so he's going to be a level 6 cleric and going to have access to an additional level 3 spell. I guess I might go with Animate Dead just as a cookie cutter kind of regular selection without any specific encounter in mind. Now I'm going to quick save here because I want to show you
It is done.
that
Hello. Nice to make the acquaintance of such a cultured personage.
Your
yeah, there is kind of an aspiring bard approaching us, and that's is actually a pretty cool character. Shows you like a different kind of motivation to become a bard, as you will see. And I just want to show you a couple of different dialogue options that we can take here. Anyway, he wants to kind of hire an adventurer, or he needs an adventurer, so we can ask him what's his deal. So I'm a bard, and a soon-to-be great bard, I might add. All I really need is some good material for a song or two, and I'll be playing the big rooms. Seeing as how the masses always like tales of daring-do, I need to purchase a few details off of you. I could always make something up, but such things never ring true. So here, an NPC project has Koran chiming in and kind of embellishing a story here that you know, we descended to the bowels of Toril, I guess, and yeah, we were pretty much in the Underdark, I guess, according to Koran. His reaction, though, I don't like how they did that, because as you will see, that's kind of out of character for our buddy 4th L August here, because as you will see, when we ask more of him, and when we actually give him a story, you will see that he will basically complain about every one of them, and he will always find some kind of fault in that story, and will always have a problem. So it's kind of unusual that he would react like that. It's like, I don't like how they did that, this conversation. Anyway, the lot of a bard is to travel and learn. Why don't you go out and find your own stories? Why? Because it's dangerous out there. I became a bard for the easy work and prestige among certain female members of my social set, not because I wanted to chase vermin down dungeon holes. So you can already see what kind of guy he is. Okay, surely we can give him something. So we can ask him what kind of tale, and he says something dashing and dangerous that will make the ladies go, "My hero." So we have, for example, a grand piece about the Iron Throne. We can, of course, as always, feel free to pause and read the whole thing. So here, obviously, it's not good because the Iron Throne is a merchant consortium and not likely to promote such a bloodbath as war with Amn would bring. So yeah, he just leaves. He's not satisfied with that. We're just going to enter with Senashira to spare ourselves the Koran interjection. And we're going to, I guess, select this last, because 2 out of the 4 he actually is going to pay you 200 gold, but he's always going to be unsatisfied. So here, you know, a tale about good people struck unjustly, or the strength of character of the common farmer, stuff like that. Obviously, tales of conviction and strength of spirit. I have no clue where to start telling a tale about that. If I were an introspective sort, I might conclude that I can't write about things I don't understand. As it is, I'm sure it's someone else's fault. I don't think you'll be much use to me after all. So of course he leaves.
Indeed. It is done.
Hello. Nice to make the acquaintance of such a cultured personage.
And here, you know, a tale of gold and the frenzied lust it inspires in people, the treachery of a friend that stabs you in the back for the coins, and stuff like that. Good, good. I can understand the motivation of these people and tales. I'm sure I could write a fine ballad about these things, as I know their subjects well and true. Unfortunately, songs about such things are not likely to increase my tips or inspire my listeners to applause. And again, he might realize, if he was more philosophical, I might realize that as a flaw within myself. But as it is, I'm sure it's someone else's fault. So take your money and leave me. So this is one of the options that gives you the money, the 200 gold. And now let's do it for real.
Certainly.
Let's just enter with everybody.
Hello. Nice to make the acquaintance of such a cultured personage.
So we're just going to skip this quickly. And just tell him about the beasties and bandits. And again, he has a problem. Well, that all just sounds rather brutish. I'm not sure what my muse is supposed to do with such tales. Perhaps, as they say, I just really had to be there. Take your money and I shall slink away to write some songs about the high price of ale and how my silken sheets chafe. This bard business is going to be rather difficult if I am restricted to writing of things I know or understand. Alright, so we got the 200 gold. And this is kind of like the Hall of Wonders is a 2-part building. as you will see from the outside as well. Oh, here, I would forget. There's a guy, a priest of God here,
What's your wine gone?
It is
and he is notable.
Dawn's greatest gift was the ability to invent.
Oh, he also has some pretty cool lines. Gons. Anyway, he has 20 oils of speed, so for example, if you're soloing, he's very useful. You can really buy a lot to have a nice supply. But even if not, of course, but especially when you're soloing, that's a really good source of them. Well, listen to this.
My friend Oppenheimer's got some cool invention cooked up.
There's some cool invention cooked up.
I am here. It is done.
Right, here is the main room with the different exhibits they have on display of different inventions. And here you're kind of supposed to... Well, I don't want to talk with him yet. You're kind of supposed to approach from this entrance here, and if you talk with the guard, who is also uniquely voiced.
It is a pleasure to serve Gond's tinkering majesty. Welcome, travelers, to the archival stores of Gond, wonderbringer to the realms.
Okay, and we can pay 1 gold for our entertainment here. And he points us to Gondsman Brathlin, who will offer some insights on the items. And of course, if we left click, we can see the different inventions. Anyway, let's talk with Brathlin then.
Please follow, and I shall endeavor to introduce you to the majesty of God.
If you're familiar with Baldur's Gate 2, you can recognize this voice actor who is quite prominent in BG2. So we can have him guide us through the...
Please don't touch the displays, or me.
or me. So yeah, he has some things to say. Of course, as usual, as always, feel free to pause and read about the different inventions.
Majesty of God. Please don't touch the displays, or me. Please follow.
Yeah, the Everlight here.
I shall endeavor
And
to
finally,
introduce you to the majesty of God. Please don't touch
the
displays,
telescope
or me.
that they've began to call a farseer.
Please
And you
follow.
can
And I
ask
shall
him some
endeavor to
questions to get
introduce
the
you
hints.
to the majesty of God.
Yeah, he explains that the 2 parts of the Hall of Wonders are connected. You can ask about, you know, some closing hours and stuff like that, and that's basically the hint to come here at night. There's not going to be any guards or any visitors there, and you can easily steal the telescope for Brevlik. And yeah, they don't sell any of the items. And now he's going to be busy. So yeah, we're going to come here later to steal that telescope.
Certainly.
Whoa, whoa, I didn't want to
Indeed.
click that. Yeah, we can kind of explore the whole thing. It looks pretty cool on the map.
I am here. Indeed.
And you'll see the bridge kind of connecting the 2 parts here. Yeah. So it has a cool style there. It's going to be a dude.
I love money. Yes, I do.
I love that line. I love money. Yes, I do. So, done, ex-merchant. How exactly does one become an ex-merchant? Well, you start by becoming a merchant. Then you become a gambler. Then you bet your business on a game of dice. Then you lose. Voila, an ex-merchant. Yeah, I'm as light and as free as, well, broke as the wind. See, look at me fly. Look at this graceful, large man fly. Anyway, here's the Ladies' Hall, which is a small temple to Timora. We can go ahead inside. We have this guy Chantelas Albright, which is the main
This way, good
priest.
sir, over here.
Oh,
Forgive me, but I have meditations to attend to.
meditations to attend to. The cool little touch is that they actually have scrolls of luck, since Timora is the Lady of Luck. Anyway, we're here now to see Ignatia. Well,
Can I assist you?
yeah, so she of course tells us about the Skull of Karif. He was a priest here long ago, and Timora blessed him greatly. Too greatly, perhaps. and it made his brother jealous, and he assassinated Karif. And you know, now he kind of just admitted to his guilt, I guess, and yeah, now this is going to be kind of justice. He, I guess, suffered enough and now can be cured. So that's a good thing to do. Now that's done, we're going to be later to visit Karif.
Indeed.
But please, might I have your ear a moment?
Here's Varsi, and he wants us to go into the nearby house because there's apparently a great quest there, or you know, a very important, desperate matter. This is a really nice touch from the NPC project. By mask, I hoped enough times that someone would bail me out of trouble when I was of an age with Varsi. Yeah, it's basically about, well, you'll see that there's going to be a guy who is going to explain everything.
There is nothing I can do, but I must do something. It is a risk.
I am here.
And risk is everything.
Certainly.
Yeah, so here we have Tremaine. And, well, they have a very serious matter here. We are in need of assistance, and none in the clergy must know. Greetings to you all. I am Lord Priest Tremaine Belde'ar, a humble servant of our smiling Lady Temora. My request of you is an odd and very dangerous one. I will not hold you to it if you deem it too extreme. I would have you enter the Water Queen's house and retrieve my son's body. He and Varsi sought to indulge their restless nature by sneaking about the place, and a high price was paid. So yeah, Varsi and this guy's son, you know, just had some kids' fun in the Umberlee's temple, and they just killed him for that. Justice is going to come to the Umberlee's temple, let me tell you. We're going to do some quests there, and then you shall see what justice a chaotic good character can bring to a temple like that. Yeah, they just, you know, they were kids causing a little mischief amidst Umberlee's underlings. But yeah, they got caught, they ran away, but Kasson didn't manage to escape. And he paid for that with his, for some like simple prank with his life. Yeah, trespassing on holy ground, whatever the faith, is not a small crime. Yeah, just kill a kid. Alright, anyway, we know what to do here. We can ask him, you know, why Chantalas is not going to help him, and that this is kind of a cool, kind of slightly philosophical thing, that, you know, Temora is the Lady of Luck, and Chantalas apparently deemed that Kasson knowingly took a risk, and luck determined his fate. But he disagrees. While Kasson did dare and fail, I see no reason that I should not take the risk to rescue him. Yeah, of course we'll help as best as we can. So that's one thing. Actually, we're going to loot later, once they leave the house. Once we're done with the quest. Here we have like a pretty cool park area, I guess. Oh, actually, let's all come in. Here's going to be Ragefast's home. Actually, on some of these benches here in the park, if it's nighttime, there's going to be like people sleeping here. Some homeless guys, I guess. We have Ragefast's home. I'm going to have to unlock it. And we've heard about that nymph that Ragefast apparently holds captive. So let's see what that is all about.
Now know thee well. I cannot let thee leave. We are meant to be together, whether ye know it or not.
Destiny or no, I'm not long for this place.
Yeah, so apparently he's just infatuated or in love with that nymph, and not without the word is escaping me. She also returns his feelings, but she just withers away in this like urban area. Anyway, if we ever mention Ramazith in this conversation, he's going to flip out, because he knows that Ramazith wants this beloved nymph of his just to extract some magical components out of her. Anyway, there is a peaceful way to resolve this whole conflict. if you say, "Dare you speak of me as bandit when you commit such crimes as you do? You hold this beauteous creature captive and still claim the moral high ground? It's a contradiction." Yeah, this wondrous being is my love and life. I would be hers as well, but it takes time. She will grow to care for me as I care for her. Yeah, so NPC Project comment here. Also giving you a hint that, it doesn't have to come to violence. Yeah, one does not cage those he cares for. You may break her spirit and she will serve you, but this is not love. Listen to her. Yeah, she will learn to be happy here. We shall grow old together. So her beauty fades even now, apparently, in this environment. Thy beauty is as brilliant now as the day I found you. Say not such things. Yeah, he's blinded by his passion. Truly see what is become of me. I should not age, but my spirit fades in this ugly place. Yours does as well, but from obsession over me. But we were meant for each other. Thy very words had said so. In my glade, amidst the stars and moon, 'twas beauty in that, but I cannot be confined with thee. I am not human, and this is not my home. But this is my home. So, yeah, it's getting serious, this conversation, but there is a way. Yeah, if you ever mention Ramazith, like I said, this is not going to end peacefully. But yeah, this Abella will die with you. Free her if you truly feel as you do. Actually, if you have a really low reaction from him, you're not going to convince him. But yeah, in most cases you will. So he's been a fool, and he releases her from his enchantments. But I don't think it's like, they probably can see each other in the future in her glade or whatever. It's just that she cannot stay here forever, or she'll die. Sort of like Larias. We already had a taste of what nymphs in such an urban environment, what their fate is. Like Larias in the harbor district. Man, she actually gives us a lock of her hair, which we're going to be able to, and Koran, of course, being Koran, here from the NPC Project. But yeah, we will be able to use that lock of nymph's hair to have a nymph cloak created for us. And there's nothing in any of these containers. And he has nothing more to say. Yeah, I shouldn't have talked over him.
Love is a blind, deaf, and ever
You're a queer fellow.
And NPC Project banter between Imo and Koran. Yeah, she can really keep a secret, can't she? That's actually a very good point.
I am here, indeed.
Koran knows his women.
It is done. Yes?
Alright, let's unlock the area north of here, because for now we are done here. There's a wall, of course, coming here, and the only part of the... if you use like a spell, clairvoyance, to open up the whole area or reveal the whole area, you will see that there are some buildings here, but you can't even teleport there. The only area from this side of the wall is this one that we've already accessed with Fenton in this building. By the way, Fenton is really similar to Fentan, spelled with an A, which is the last name of a certain recruitable NPC from Baldur's Gate 2, a certain halfling family. Anyway, now we have this area uncovered, and, well, I think, we're probably going to start that in the next episode. And here I'll just take a little moment, because this is going to be the last episode in 2017. So have a happy new year, have some nice celebrations, I guess, and may 2018 be better in every regard for you than 2017 was. So as always, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in 2018.